I would like to represent my team of authors. The first author in this paper is Mr. Maman Suryaman, and I am the second author, and I will be the presenter along with Fajaruddin Akbar as the author. However, I'm the only one who will present our material for today. Also, I need to mention something that in this paper, I put every references as in text citation. So if you are wondering, how do I get this information? How did I get this information? The citations can be checked later on. Okay, probably the first question that we are thinking right now as NFL teachers is why video games? We are learning something, right? We are not playing. How do we incorporate video games in classroom settings? The students will only just, keep playing around and not learning at all. They just play games. They don't learn anything. Okay. Here's the thing. The problem is even in 2019, the incorporation of video games is still underexplored, especially if, let's say, us as EFL teachers do not have, let's say, a habit to play video games. And also, some of the students who play the video games, they probably already developed a little bit gaming habit, but has not yet realized the potential of gaming in language learning. After all, as I mentioned before in a previous conference, that this is language learning, not rocket science, right? Let's say if I studied this in mathematics field, in mathematics subject, this is will be totally nonsense because it's mathematics. There is no video games that will benefit you to study mathematics even more or to motivate you to study mathematics. But in language, it is possible, highly possible. Thus, it is very potential. However, why video game is still underexplored? I'm sorry if I'm speaking very fast because I'm considering my time right now and this is being recorded. So if you want to watch later, I will upload it on my YouTube channel. Okay. Now. First of all, the school itself in general perceive video games as a threat to learning environment. So let's say in Indonesian settings, you ask your headmaster or your leader of the teachers group, I want to use video games in my classroom. Probably there will be, let's say, there will be some kind of skepticism. It's a threat to learning environment. But the thing is, it has been mentioned many times, right? It has been mentioned many times that learning, especially learning English, should be fun. Let's say if we are against video games, that means we are against the idea of fun learning. It has potential. We just don't know it yet. We just not yet realize about it. Okay, not only schools and teachers are afraid of video games, but also parents. They are afraid of seeing their students playing video games every time, every day, don't have self-control, but still this is what makes video games looks bad. Okay? Yeah. Here's the thing. The thing is we just don't know yet. We have not yet realized about it. This is probably the most quote, especially if you are a parent right now and seeing your children playing video games all the time, you will probably say, stop playing that video game. Almost every mom in nowadays situation, yeah, especially most of our children right now, most of Gen Z right now already develops video game habit, playing video game habit. Okay. You see that in my own story, I learned the first time I learned English is through video game. If you are familiar with GTA San Andreas, that's how I learned my English. The first time I learned English back then. Yeah, especially it helped me a lot in acquiring vocabulary and phrases back then. You see, it has been proven by previous research that video games enhance language learning, especially in acquiring vocabulary, because in video games they provide interactivity. This is why movie is, let's say, if you compare movies and video game has higher interactivity because the players has control over the game. Yeah, and also this is the extrinsic motivation that video games offer: fun, competitive, story rich, unique content, and challenging. That's why if you are wondering why children right now love playing video game, because they have this intrinsic motivations element. Yeah, Okay, I just want to say that let's say with repeated activities, student will be exposed to a great exposure of vocabulary. That means, let's say if you, as mentioned before by the previous conference, a student who played a football game, yeah, the student got exposed a lot in a vocabulary related to football. So when you are, let's say, test him related football subject in English, the student will definitely get it. Yeah, it's easy for him because he already involved himself in playing video games related to football. Okay. However, here's the thing. Yeah, the thing is, Gen Z usually plays video game on their mobile phone. This, let's say, cloud the judgments of the parents and the students regarding video games, whether it can be used for language learning or not, especially in the classroom context. Let's say that this is the left game that I put in the slide, Mobile Legends. Yeah, this is the most popular video games right now. Now we got another popular video game, Player Unknown Battlegrounds, and popular video game Among Us right now. People are playing that everywhere on their mobile phone. Yeah, here's the thing, as an EFL teacher and as a parent who wants their children to learn while playing video games, you must understand what kind of game that needs to be chosen to expose them, especially, yeah, in acquiring vocabulary. Okay, yeah. The left video games, Mobile Legend, mostly the players only interact with players from Indonesian or ASEAN. Playing with Indonesian player, that means you can communicate Indonesian. You don't need to communicate in English. You don't need to force yourself to communicate in English, right? ASEAN, their English are quite, let's say, broken. Even some of them prefer to chat with their mother language. Also, when you are playing this kind of video game, Mobile Legend, it does not demand you to have intensive reading to master. That means you don't need to read anything in English, and you can still play it. Not like this, Civilization. Civilization interact with international players even outside of the game. Example, game forum. Okay, in order to play this kind of video games, the players need to read a lot, need to discuss a lot with other players internationally. There is no way you can master this video game without reading. It forces you to read if you want to master this kind of video game. This is the example of interaction outside the game. This is a game forum, Civilization group in Facebook. This is one of the example how students could involve themselves discussing video games they love about. Of course, before writing this sentence, yeah, the students will think about the grammar. I want to make sure that my grammar is good, so I will not be embarrassing my audience in the group. So I need to make sure that the grammar is correct. This is engage them not only in vocabulary but also in grammar. Both video games able to cover to enhance student sub skills in English. Okay, this is the response that we get from other native speakers. We are discussing here. Do we learn? Directly not, because we are just discussing about video game. We are not learning about English. We just using English. However, the students will try to use English as best as possible. They will think about the grammar. They don't want to write grammatically wrong. It's going to be embarrassing for EFL speakers such as ourselves. Okay. Also, we need to be noted that video games is like any other media. It has age rating. Let's say your students are mostly 12 years old. Which games can I incorporate? Okay, of course, the left one is Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah, GTA 5. It's literally about murdering and stealing and robbery. Of course, this kind of video game is not appropriate for your 12 years old students. Let's say if your students are mostly in higher education, it's still appropriate because they meet the age requirement. However, then I want to incorporate video games for my 12-year-old student. You can choose this kind of video game. Minecraft is about crafting and surviving and collaborating with each other to collect sources and survive from the enemies of the world of Minecraft. Even you need to communicate a lot with native speakers because Minecraft players involve themselves internationally. So they will not only meet with ASEAN or Indonesian players, but internationally. This is the most important aspect if you want to use incorporate digital games. Okay. Also, to be noted that I need to make sure that digital games here is not for, let's say, come on, class, today please open your game and play it all day long. I will be at my office drinking coffee. No, it will not be like that. Digital games here, once again, I need to remain that it's to scaffold your students to learn beyond classroom. Let's say you give homework like use Duolingo, use any other application. The students probably, I don't like this. I forgot. It's just 10 minutes, but video games, let's say you order your student to play this game outside of classroom, they will greatly consider it because it's just playing video game. It's not studying, it's just fun. So digital games, yeah, yeah, will solve the 5 hours problem. And if you are asking about what is 5 hour problems in formal schools, especially in Indonesian settings, students usually only spend less than 5 hours a week to learn English. 5 hours a week to learn English. It's not enough. In most cases, even only 3 hours a week. Yeah, of course, it will not be enough to learn a new language, especially foreign language, just 5 hours a week. Then in this issue, I always try to share that we can consider using digital games in language learning, not in classroom settings, but to scaffold them to learn and to solve the 5 hours problem, to learn beyond classroom. Okay, okay. Now let's focus more in our study. Yeah, what we conducted on our study is to an effort to engage students to learn beyond classroom and to introduce that by playing digital games, you can also acquire yourself dozens level of vocabulary, high exposure of vocabulary. Okay. Wait.
I'm sorry, Mr. Lutfi.
Hmm? What?
Only 5 minutes left.
Okay.
Only 5 minutes left.
Yeah. Wait. Okay, this is the research questions of our study. Yeah, are digital games able to scaffold students to self-regulate beyond the classroom setting, and to what extent do digital games provide students with exposure of vocabulary? And this is an action research, and this is our participants. We got 71 students, just 5 minutes left. 71 students of higher education students, and separated into two classes. I'm sorry, this is a typo. And averagely, the students is 18 to 20 years old, and most of the students are bilingual, Indonesian and local language, and all of them have been involved in English subject in for 12 years in formal schools. And the study is conducted in February this year, right? Conducted in February this year, from February to early March 2020, only 1 month. Okay, this is and this action research and this expectation has been in it. And this is our tool, SimCity, a city building simulation. That means that the players will have the power to become a governor here, building the best city as best as possible. Okay. Uh, and this is the instructional design. Yeah, we are scaffolding, introduction, introducing SimCity 4, introduction this study, in group discussion, collaborative, preparing. We are conducting a little bit of role play. So in every meeting, yeah, the students need to report their city development and pretending themselves to be a major and other officials that that were responsible to the building of the city, to the development of the city. Okay, and also, yeah, through this, after they're done, we will give a feedback, and the participant will also given questions by their peers regarding their city developments or regarding to language learning. Okay, how do we collect the data? Is through semi-structured interview and teachers' journals. And to analyze it, we will use thematic analysis. We use thematic analysis and theoretical lens. Okay. Now, what we have discovered is that a confusion leads to a positive perception. Here, the first time we introduced the idea that the students they got confused. Why digital games can help them to learn language? Yeah, not only the students that were confused, but also the teachers participated in this study. This is actually normal, yeah, as Bloom report, and also the confusion during the study also leads to anxiety. However, it will be addressed later on. And how did students acquire a vocabulary? To be noted, this paper mimicked modified, let's say, follow a previous literature conducted by my own lecturer, Mr. Elisuddin Snayanto. However, the difference are that the previous study conducted video viewing while we conducted incorporated digital games. Okay, by this they will scaffold themselves to explore vocabulary, because if, let's say, if the students find new vocabulary on the video game, to understand it completely they need to engage themselves to open a dictionary. Yes. Nah, okay, this is the result, yeah, to answer the questions here. Okay, okay, yeah. Through this quote, we can see that we can codify the results, the data here, that the students got repeated exposure by playing the game. And the content application here means what they can learn something from the video game to be applied in real life settings. For example, yeah, in this game you need to make sure that your city earning doesn't is higher than your expense. That is the basic simple content application to real life settings, right? We learn it from video games. And also to be noted, video games when they are in development they got their own research development team. And this learning experience here is special and unique because all of them mentioned that they never be involved in this kind of teaching before. It's unique, interesting, and interactive. Most of the students participated in this study claim that they were highly motivated to join again. Yeah. Also, we need to assure that there is a certain problem in this kind of video game, because this digital game is a PC, a desktop digital game. That means you cannot play it on your mobile phone. This probably will affect your student if your student does not have the required equipment. So let's say you want to incorporate digital games, make sure that your students have the required requirement before you incorporate digital games. Okay, or they will meet this kind of mobility issue, because back then most of my participants were lacking the proper laptop to conduct and to participate in this study. Okay, okay, and remember once again, yeah, yeah, this is just a justification about what I said before, that exposure and application, that students eventually needs to open dictionary by themselves, right? So I don't force them to open dictionary. They do it by themselves, not me. I just force them to play the game, yeah, develop it with your friends, and report the city development with the rest of the class later on in the meeting. So they play the video games not in the classroom but outside of classroom with their peers. Okay. So this is just another justification what I said before, that this is something new that they never experienced before. However, once again, we need to make sure that digital games that we are going to use are suitable for them and they have proper equipment for it. Also, this is the conclusion of our paper. Yeah, considering our recent generation's habit to play digital games, it can be integrated. Okay, it can be integrated in classroom settings, but not for in classroom, but just for language learning outside of classroom. It offers high extrinsic motivation and unique learning experience. Remember, remember also need to be remembered, not only digital game and another media or another digital tools, that when we want to use a certain tools of learning, we need to make sure that the tools is suitable to reach our teaching objective. Okay, and further study, because this is only action research only conducted in a month, it still requires a further study. And also to be noted, in this study we were only employed pre-service English teachers, not actual lecturers or professors. So probably the participants would be quite, let's say, they are not lecturers, they just students like us. We don't need to be serious about it. We don't need to be more uh, participative about it. Let's say if you conduct the same research but with different teachers, let's say lecturers, and integrate it into your curriculum, probably it has greater impact for language learning. Yeah. Also, this study only conducted in a month, and Professor Andre said action research should be conducted at least a year. However, it is still acceptable, I think, internationally. So if you want to conduct the same research from our paper, probably you can use, because you can conduct a longer research. Okay, probably more than just 2 months than we did. Just we actually want to conduct this research 2 months, around 2 or 3 months. However, the pandemic made our situations difficult, so we decided to put it on hold, and at least we already got enough data to be reported and to be shared with other EFL teachers, especially Indonesian EFL teachers. I think that is all.
Okay, thank you for the nice presentations, Mr. Lutfi. Okay, is there any questions for the participant for Mr. Lutfi? There is no question?
Can I say something?
Of course.
Yes, of course. I'm sure.
Sorry. Okay. Thank you, the committee. Lutfi, I think I should congratulate you. I think that's very interesting. What I can say, maybe you use a scaffolding, right? This is Jerome Bruner's theory. I might suggest only because once when I read articles or journals about, because your topic is incidental language, what do you call that? Acquisition, what comes first in my mind is the theory of Gratian. So maybe just for your further reading, I just suggest you to read about Gratian's theory on second language acquisition or foreign language acquisition to enrich your theory. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, very well. Thank you. I'm sorry. Is that a question or an advice, ma'am? I can't.
Just a suggestion here. Yeah, I see that
because
scaffolding theory here.
I'm sorry because your voice were, let's say, unclear. Got.
Yeah, just a suggestion. It's really good job. Just I want you to read Gratian theory on SLA, to enrich your unit. So thank you.
Very well, thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the fourth